Let me ask you this. Do you have painful periods every month? Are they long, irregular? Do you get acne? Do you struggle with endometriosis? Maybe you're having some problems with fertility. Or have you noticed that maybe you gain weight or have carried weight around your hips and your thighs? Because these are all signs of a hormone imbalance, specifically estrogen dominance. And this is actually really common around a lot of females, but the causes may actually surprise you. So in this video, I'm gonna go over 5 ways to naturally balance your hormones in a holistic way. And if this is something that you've been wondering about for a while, or you are excited to hear about, please give me a little thumbs up below or give me the little heart, and make sure you stick around to the end because I have got some great bonus tips that you're gonna make sure that you hear because you can put these into effect right now. So a quick introduction before we get into it. My name is Nicole Broers. I am a nutritionist and herbalist at Dance to the Beat. And this topic is something that is very personal to me because I myself have struggled with some severe hormonal imbalances. I had weight that I couldn't get off for many months, no matter what I did, until I learned the right foods, herbs, and changes that I needed to make, and then I finally saw results. And this is also something that I see in my clients and my friends way too common, and it doesn't need to be because there are ways that we can address it. So let's get right into it. So a quick analogy about your hormones before I get into tip number 1. If you think about your sex hormones as the tire on a bike wheel, and you think about the rest of your body as the spokes on that tire. So you have the spokes on the inside, you got this tire on the outside. So say these spokes start bending and breaking, and eventually the tire becomes misshapen. And then eventually, because of that, it pops. And so when you see your hormones, and you're like, man, my hormones are out of whack. Well, they're not just out of whack because something popped them, which could be the case, but most of the time it's something else going on in the body from those spokes. So if you just keep fixing the tire but you don't fix the spokes, you're gonna have the same problems come up again and again. So as I go through this video, you're gonna see kind of how the whole body works together and why you need to address things other than just the estrogen going on. So tip number 1 is to detox and strengthen your liver. And I know you might be thinking, why are we talking about the liver when this is a video about hormones? Well, fun fact, the liver is actually in charge of ridding your body of excess estrogen. And here's the thing, the liver's got a lot of other jobs to do, so this is not the most important. The liver needs to rid your body and cleanse you of excess sugar and alcohol and toxins from our air, toxins from the chemicals in our household, from beauty products and cleaning supplies, and even eating the wrong kind of fats or too much protein. And so our liver is busy doing all of these things because these are clear and present dangers. So it's not going to get around to doing the estrogen, to taking care of the estrogen, if it's busy taking care of all these other things. So what do you have to do? Well, you've got to remove these other things, right? So you need to cut back on the sugar, cut back or eliminate the alcohol. Look at your beauty products, your lotions, your toiletries. All of these contain xenoestrogens. These are petroleum-based estrogens that mimic estrogen in our body, and they are not good. They can cause cancer at their worst, and at their least, they're just they're very disruptive. So switching over to natural products, consuming the right amount of protein, consuming the right kinds of fats, all of these are going to help strengthen your liver and make sure that your liver can start taking care of other things, right? So besides that, there are also some herbs that are really great for the liver, one of them being milk thistle. And just for you, because I want to keep this video as clear and concise as possible, I put together a companion guide, and it has a list of food and herbs to help balance your hormones. It is free. Just click the link below and get your copy. So tip number 1, take care of your liver. Tip number 2, eat healthy fats. And I know I just said to not eat too much of the wrong fats because your liver has to take care of it. But healthy fats are really integral to hormonal health. They're really crucial for your reproductive system. And when I talk about healthy fats, I'm talking about things like avocados and olives and coconut oil and coconut cream and seeds and nuts, and specifically omega-3 fatty acids. These are really really, really important. And you can get omega-3s from wild fish if you eat animals. If you are plant-based, you can also get it from walnuts, hemp seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds. You can also do something called seed cycling, and it's really simple. Basically what it entails is just eating different seeds at different times of the month according to your cycle, and it'll give you the nutrients that you need. And it's just 4 types of seeds. You eat 2 of them the first half, 2 of them the second half, and all those details are in that guide that I just mentioned, so make sure you check that out. So tip number 3 is to manage your stress. So stress is really interesting because it has this whole set of its own hormonal responses which are going on in your adrenal glands. And the thing is, when we make hormones, there's kind of this cascade effect. Our body is going to make the most important hormones first, and it's going to make the least important hormones last. So when it comes to stress, making these stress hormones is really, really important, because if we need to outrun a lion, we need that energy because we don't want to die. And not dying is going to be more important than making babies. So I know we're not outrunning lions these days, but we are dealing with a lot of stress that's going on in our head or from our environment, and our bodies actually have the same response to stress, whether we are outrunning a lion or whether it is something that we completely made up in our head. So we really, really need to address the stress if we want to address your hormone balance. So to do this, you can do things like yoga, meditation, deep breathing, taking walks in nature, anything that's just gonna slow you down and bring you into that parasympathetic state or that more relaxed state, that's gonna help balance and even out these stress hormones. And you wanna address, of course, the cause of the stress and see if you can minimize that as well. One of the causes that most people aren't aware of is actually just caffeine. Excessive caffeine or drinking coffee on an empty stomach is really hard on your adrenal glands. You know, it makes us feel alert because it's stimulating those glands. So if you are somebody who drinks coffee on an empty stomach and you have hormonal problems, I suggest either including some healthy fats either in your coffee or before you eat your coffee so it slows the absorption, or cutting back or eliminating the caffeine altogether. There are also some really great herbs and foods that can help balance your adrenal glands and balance out those stress hormones. And those are all in that little handy guide that I'm talking about, so you have a full list of how and why they work for you. So make sure you grab that. So before I go on, I want to know, is any of this making sense? Are you starting to see how maybe some of your diet and your lifestyle is contributing to a possible hormone imbalance? And if so, let me know in the comments below. Let me know a little bit about your story. I would love to hear it. So tip number 4, make sure you are getting enough vitamin D. And when I say this, you're probably thinking, yeah, vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. Or maybe you're not, maybe that's just me. But vitamin D, yes, you can get it just by going outside, getting 20 minutes a day on your hands and your face. That's all the exposure that you need. But if you don't live somewhere like sunny San Diego and it's winter, or it's just rainy a lot, or for whatever reason you can't get outside, even though I do encourage it for many other reasons, you can supplement, and you can also get this from some foods. If you're plant-based, the only foods really you're going to get it from are certain mushrooms, wild mushrooms. Not all mushrooms will have it. Usually if they're in a package, they'll say whether they have vitamin D or not. It's just depending on the way they're grown. Some do and some don't. And if you're not plant-based, then you can get vitamin D from eggs, specifically the yolks, wild salmon, cod liver oil, herring, sardines. If none of those fish are sounding super appealing, maybe a vitamin D3 supplement is going to work better for you. But before you start supplementing with vitamin D, you do want to talk to a doctor and get your levels tested, because it is something that you can have too much of. So don't just overdo it on a vitamin D supplement if you're not sure. But get your levels tested, supplement if you need to, or get it from those foods that I mentioned. So that was tip number 4, which is just getting enough vitamin D, hopefully from some sunshine. And that brings me to number 5. Number 5, you've got to keep your blood sugar balanced. And I say this because insulin and your sugar levels are directly related to what's going on with your estrogen levels. So if you are experiencing symptoms of PMS, or if you have specifically PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, there have been a lot of studies that are showing that blood sugar imbalances are directly related to these. So you can't look at hormonal imbalance without also making sure your blood sugar is balanced. So what do I mean by this, and how can you do it? Well, to keep your blood sugar balanced, basically you just don't want spikes. And spikes come from a lot of sugar or heavy carbohydrates at one time, right? So limiting your sugar to, under 25 grams a day, which includes, any added sugars from honey, agave, maple syrup, not from fruits. Fruits, you get the whole fruit plus the fiber. So that's not added sugar. But if you're going to eat any kind of meals or snacks, like fruit or anything else, you want to eat it with some kind of protein and healthy fat, because that is what's going to keep your blood sugar balanced. If you are just eating really high carbohydrate meals without those things, that's what's going to cause the spikes. And honestly, everyone is different. Sometimes people can eat a fruit and their blood sugar doesn't spike. Other people it does. So if you want to really find out, there are tests that you can buy that you can take at home to see what's affecting your blood sugar levels. But really the easiest way is just to eat a balanced diet where you're getting proteins and fats and also limiting your sugar intake. So there you have it. Just like I promised, those were 5 tips to balance your hormones. Quick review: 1, be nice to your liver. 2, eat healthy fats. 3, manage your stress. 4, get enough vitamin D. And 5, keep your blood sugar balanced. And here is the bonus tip that I was talking about. Thank you for sticking with me till the end. There are a lot of foods and herbs that will actually help regulate the estrogen in your body. And these can be really beneficial. A couple of these are what I used for myself and I've used for my clients. Some of the biggest ones are false unicorn, QUAI, licorice, and red clover. There are a few more as well as some foods, and I have that list in that guide that I keep mentioning. So make sure you download that guide. And if you have a mother, sister, daughter, or special lady friend that you think could use some of these tips or that is dealing with some hormone problems, please share this video, share the information, because that is what it's all about. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nicole Broers with Dance to the Beat. And remember that being healthy should be fun, sexy, and delicious, just like you.